Welcome to Victorious Living. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and experience the abundant life God has planned for you? We all face challenges, but on Victorious Living, we will equip you with practical tools and inspiring stories to help you live a life of victory. Let's prepare ourselves to learn something new today. Before we jump in, let's spread the victory. Share this video with someone who needs a fresh perspective. You were created for greatness. Let's dive in and discover how to live a life of victory.
Welcome to Victorious Living. I'm very sure that you're not watching our episode by chance today. I'm sure that it is a divine alignment. And if you're going through something, maybe you're going to get your answer in another couple of minutes. And stay with us and listen to us. Today I have a lot of leadership questions from a wonderful person and guest we found today. And he agreed to come, and it's a privilege for us to be able to talk to us. Welcome you, Chief. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
And without wasting time, please tell us about you. Tell our audience, they are eager to know about you.
Okay. My name is Jason Doolin. Currently, I hold the rank of Fire Captain with the City of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. I'm a born and raised native of Las Vegas, Nevada. I have a beautiful wife and a daughter. And I have spent essentially my whole adult career life in the fire department after high school.
Fire department reminds me that you are first responder. So you deal with dangerous situation all the time. So how do you handle it? How do you deal with dangerous situation and unexpected situations?
Awareness,
Okay.
paying attention to what's going on so that you can respond to anything weird that does happen, just in case. And then most of the dangerous stuff that we do is planned, you could say. So we know that we're going in to do it, and we know that there are standard environments that are dangerous that we know we're going to work in, and we have standard actions that we take, and then we have predicted standard outcomes that we expect to happen out of all of that. And if anything, because we're being aware of it, happens that is not within the norm, then we have to be able to adjust on the fly to be able to adjust to it and
So
solve
how
the
do
problem.
you take instant decisions? Is it a gut feeling or?
Most of them, like I said, are actually already planned out decisions. When we have to do something on the fly, there's always a risk management aspect to it where we decide, okay, is the risk we're taking enough to help this person, or are we taking too much risk and now we're going to make the problem worse? A lot of the time, most decisions that are made on the fly simply come from just years and years and years of experience. And as you do it long enough, you've worked with people that have been in similar situations, and you mimic those people usually on the fly. That's how it works.
So interacting with you, I realized that you are a wonderful leader. And I happen to ask you a few questions about how to handle people, because you lead a very big team. And you lead a team of people who are first responder, and there is pressure all the time, and you have to keep them on track. And how do you handle people? Like, I'm purely talking about people management.
Well, the first thing I do is, rather than handle them, I handle the environment. My crew knows that I have a rule in the station of no news channels. If you need to know something, everybody's got their phones, they're paying attention. If we need to put on the news, we'll put it on to catch something that's going on. But generally speaking, I don't allow it, simply because it's incredibly inflammatory, and it doesn't matter which news media or channel you put on, they're all kind of doing the same thing. So I keep that stuff out of there on purpose, and I actually encourage things like sports and comedy movies.
Wow.
So that the general environment is
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like comedy movies
Yeah.
too. Sometimes when I'm under pressure, I choose to watch something that will take my mind off of the loop of the
Yes.
thought I'm facing. So the first responders that you're dealing with, a lot of them go through depression as well, because they deal with dangerous situation, death and accidents and death, all kinds of stuff they see. When I talk to them, I feel. So if somebody comes to you with a very difficult, or you sense it, if they come to you or you sense it, how do you handle it? Do you react? Do you take time or take them
Well,
for coffee?
the first thing I do is I watch and I listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to see if they will slip what it is that's bugging them before I have to actually directly talk to the person. If I have to talk to the person, then I take a couple of steps. I make sure that I'm never in an official environment. I don't call them to the captain's office
Okay.
and to come have a talk with me, because now they're nervous. Believe it or not, one of the best places to have those talks with people that I have found is isolating them in the grocery store while we're shopping for the days, for the chow. Most people in a grocery store really aren't listening to anybody. They're just kind of doing their thing. So I can kind of usually walk off with the person, and then I usually lead it off with something along the lines of, I saw you doing this, or I get this feeling that you're not happy, or and I leave it very open for them to then say whatever they want, and then I listen for the next thing that I can tag off of that with some, I think it's called an active listening skill, that eventually will lead me to something where we can talk and get something off their chest.
Yeah, actively listening is very important. After I spoke to you that day, I improvised, like I implemented something in my leadership team, like I started doing is, you mentioned that day, if I can put it correctly, that you do not order your team and you get involved and you suggest.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do that? Out of your 3 keys that you gave me, one key was
I didn't even
this.
know I did that. I'm a firm believer that I shouldn't have to give orders to my crew. Now, there are obviously times in an emergency scene where that's my responsibility and I give them orders because I want things done a certain way. But generally speaking, if I've done my job correctly, they already want to do the right thing. They already want to work for me because I've built a relationship with them where they want to do things to make me happy. So generally speaking, most of the stuff that I suggest gets done. And the other thing that I do with those is I don't micromanage.
Yes.
I don't suggest something and then lord it over them with my thumbs to do it a certain way. I let them do it their way, and as long as they meet the end goal, I usually don't care how they do it. So a lot of it is more relationship building versus order giving, because when you build a good relationship with people, they want to do work for you. They want to make you happy. And so I look at it more relationship building versus authoritative dictatorship.
Wonderful. That was so inspiring for me. I always believed in that, but as a new leader years ago, I was somebody who would micromanage everything, give them a task, and start to tell them how to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like the thumb, you put a thumb on them. So I really liked that point when you mentioned. So another 2 things that you told me about leadership, would you just run through it? You told me 3 things. One was getting involved.
Oh, well, I do. So from an authority perspective, I don't have to do a lot of physical labor. That's not my responsibility. A lot of my job is very managerial and watching and overseeing and that kind of a thing. So whenever I find time to actually get in and do something dirty with them, I get in and I do it. 1, it's good for me. And 2, it shows them that, I can do some of the, I'm still a part of them. Because of roles that we have, you can become very separated, and then it goes back to the idea of the relationship with your crew members. If I'm always just standing over there watching them do stuff and they're hard work and sweat and dirty and all messed up, and I'm just sitting over there twiddling my thumbs watching them and drinking a bottle of water, eventually guys will get tired of that and they don't want to work for you.
It's very good, getting involved with the team.
Yeah.
So your people feel very secure around you.
Yes, They do.
So how do you do that?
That was actually luck because of my personality. I am okay with making mistakes, and when I make mistakes and any of my crew or friends have brought it to me, I can't say that I've always taken the news well, but I have sat back and listened to their criticism and their advice and talked to them about it and made changes as I saw fit, or didn't change because I thought I was right. But I have always allowed people to come to me and say, hey, I didn't like that. We need to talk about that. I try to make sure that that's a thing that they can do, so that when I need to do it with them,
Yeah, it's like
easier.
you're not untouchable. Like
Correct.
You're there.
Leadership, I think, gets confused by a lot of people. They think because you were given the authority of the captain's bars or chief's bugles or something like this, that everything that they say and they do is not correct, and that you have to do it. And that's just simply not the case. Just because you were granted the authority means that you passed a knowledge test, that you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to do your job professionally. But just because you were granted the power to be a leader doesn't really mean that you're a leader. It doesn't mean that you're even good at it. I think that largely being a leader, what's more important than having the knowledge, skills, and abilities to be a leader, it's what you do personally as a human being to endear people to want to follow you. That's really more what it's about. You know, I have plenty of chief's bugles above me that have authority, but I won't follow them. In fact, I'll blatantly outright disobey them.
So I see that when I interacted with you, you're very humble. You're very approachable.
That's very gracious of you. That was not the feedback I got testing for captain.
No.
I had a lot of not humble feedback.
Not humble feedback.
Correct.
But I found you very humble, very, very available for your team even when I saw the interaction. So do you think that the leader has to be humble?
Absolutely.
So that we can deal with people better?
Yeah, you have to be humble, because the people following you have to be able to come to you and talk to you and go, hey, I get it. I followed you. You told me to do this, but I don't understand why. I don't get it. And they have to feel comfortable and not threatened to come to you and ask why you made a decision the way you made it. And then you have to be honest with them about why you made your decision.
Yeah, here comes the importance of communication. So how do you communicate with your family? Because when you're at job, how do you balance between stressful job and your family? And how much time are you giving to your children? Do you give them a lot of children time?
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you were blessed by this message. Let's use this encouragement to spread hope and light, not only in our own lives, but also in our families and communities. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and let us know how God is working in your lives. Stay victorious and be blessed.